Wee Wonders!
Welcome, wonderful watchers, to Wee Wonders, a Wii game review series by me, Souldin of the Grin Brothers. This episode will cover the Wii game Donkey Kong Country Returns, a platformer game developed by Retro Studios and published by Nintendo. Let's begin playing then. It's Waggle time! Wii Wonders Season 2 focuses on games released for the Nintendo Wii's first year of 2007. As a 2010 game, Donkey Kong Country Returns is a bonus exception that is being reviewed due to the recent playthrough my brother and I did for the game. It is, after all, always best to review these games when they are fresh in your mind. Hope you enjoy!
Story time!
Donkey Kong Island is a land of mystery. From its trap-brimming temple of unknown origins to its sentient flying bananas that flutter about. Another mystery appears when the island's volcano erupts and unleashes the Tiki-Tak tribe. These shifty-eyed musical miscreants descend upon the island and start hypnotizing all the animals to work for the rhythmic rabble-rousers. Thankfully, Tiny Kong and the other Kong girls aren't present. And also, thankfully, the Tiki-like enemies aren't DeviantArt users and have mind-controlled the animals purely to steal bananas. Not thankful is DK and Diddy, who have to deal with yet another case of banana burglary. With DK either being too dumb to be hypnotized or simply tone-deaf, the monkey uncle and nephew duo are the best candidates to jump, swing, and blast their way across Donkey Kong Island. An island that does a better job trying to kill the two than the Tiki Goons could ever hope to. Will these many mysteries be answered through the course of the game? Many cutscenes at the start of boss encounters do explain where the Tikis are taking the bananas and why, but all other curiosities are purely teased by environmental elements. The levels themselves do tell a bit of a tale though, such as the beach world's many pirate ship encounters building up towards the boss fight against the ship's crab crew, or how turning on the fans in the factory world's first level clears the smoke away to reveal the other levels. It's a subtle way of telling the story, but one that feels suited to what Donkey Kong Country Returns is, a video game.
Instruction time!
Donkey Kong Country Returns, as a return to the DKC formula, has its roots as a 16-bit side-scrolling platformer. So it should come as no surprise that the game can be played with a lone Wii remote held horizontally. The D-pad moves your monkey, the 2-button jumps, the 1-button grabs things, and the A-button lets you descend from the heavens to rejoin the mortal plane, and shaking the Wii remote has many unique actions. When stationary, shaking the Wii remote has DK and Diddy ground pound. When on the move, shaking has your Kong perform a roll. And when crouching down a bit of shaking has you blow air. Apparently, one of this particular entry in the Country series' defining features. Always cool to see tag force get talked about, so yeah. The power of blowing! As a game released in 2010 though, this game unsurprisingly supports the Wii Remote and Nunchuck combination, a control method preferred by my brother and I in our playthrough. All the same actions can be done with both control schemes, but with some different inputs, such as the A button to jump, the control stick to move, and both the B and Z buttons work for the grabbing action. The Wii Remote and Nunchuck feels the most natural for this game, with holding B or Z for running, clinging, and grabbing being much more comfortable, particularly when having to also jump with the A button. The control stick also felt like it eased into DK and Diddy's movement better, suiting the amount of momentum these monkeys can have. The lone Wii remote did have advantages though, such as sharper turning on the spot for those minute movements, and being even quicker to shake for those wee waggling moments. Which you prefer can be either up to you or up to the level. Diddy, Rambi, and Minecart all exist, but their controls are either the same or expansions to the natural repertoire. Diddy can shoot peanuts, but this is done by performing a ground pound with a shake motion, and his barrel jet hover is as simple as holding the jump button whilst in the air. The rocket barrel, on the other hand, does control quite differently, with the jump button controlling the ascent of the constantly moving vehicle. The game suggests operating this hazardous barrel technology by holding the jump button, but my brother and I found that tapping with varying degrees of speed was far more efficient.
Action time!
DK returns to the platforming stylings of his SNES-era Donkey Kong Country series with this Wii game, which means he'll be jumping or rolling through enemies, swinging from vine to vine, and collecting an unhealthy amount of bananas as he tries to reach the end of the level. It's a simple but challenging objective, as whether it be journeying across hippo-infested jungles with bottomless drops, or oil swamps claimed by dinosaur skeletons, this game is hard. I must make this clear, this cute and colourful animal platformer is very hard. Platforming is tight, enemies are plentiful, and the hazards are everywhere, sometimes even chasing or breaking behind you and forcing a fast and frantic pace upon you. To add to the challenge is many secrets and collectibles to tempt you. Would you like to unlock challenging temple levels to truly test your skills? Then you best memorise level layouts or have quick reflexes to grab all 4 Kong letters per level in a single run. Would you like to see concept art or 3D dioramas of this game? Then you best check and break every nook and cranny for DK's ever complicated 4 to 9 jigsaw pieces.
Well, so again, it actually goes against the whole, DK's dumb thing. But he's like, what do you like to do in your spare time, DK? I like to play the drums and collect jigsaw and make jigsaw pieces.
What?
I make jigsaws.
To be fair, it's like a 9-piece jigsaw puzzle.
Mercifully, the jigsaw pieces can be collected across many replays of a level, and a couple can be nabbed through straightforward banana collecting challenge rooms. Spending time to find the puzzle pieces can be a nice change of pace, or an additional spice to the platforming perils, depending on where they're placed. They certainly add replayability to a level, given it's a surprising feat to accomplish both tasks in one run. To aid in overcoming this difficult platformer are items, animal assistance, and DK's co-op buddy, Diddy. Special DK barrels are scattered about the level, containing a trapped DK or Diddy who'll be happy to help once freed. In single player, Diddy serves as a piggyback power-up, providing hover, projectiles, and a meat shield against damage. In co-op though, a second gamer can roam freely as Diddy, helping to grab bananas, take down enemies, or willingly grab onto DK's back for those aforementioned hover powers. Now you would think that co-op would be a hindrance in a game of small, crumbling platforms, especially when some of these platforms are the flat, bouncing heads of the tiki opposition, disappearing as one of the 2 Kongs jump on them. And you would be right in some ways, and wrong in others. DK and Diddy certainly fight for land space, and the window of opportunity for both players to use a tiki as a trampoline exists but is narrow. What co-op play rewards you with is an easier time taking risks. If DK falls in this adventure, then Diddy can take up the lead role and continue this journey on his lonesome. Until he finds a DK barrel or until DK decides to descend down to be revived. Vice versa also applies, and this means there are circumstances where holding out long enough for your partner to return is the difference between charging on through obstacles or being cast the lengthy way back to your last checkpoint. To further help best this game are various items, some found in levels and others gifted to you by dear old Cranky Kong. For a price. Hearts replenish hearts, balloons serve as the Kong's environmentally destructive life system, and Rambi the Rhinoceros is waiting in a crate for you. Rambi isn't available in all levels, but he's vital to obtaining all the collectibles in the ones he's in, and the spike immune rhino who plows through walls is a fun change of pace. Squawks, the puzzle piece finding power of debatable skill, is instead held captive in Cranky Kong's shop, and can only be rented out by spending banana coins. More useful is the purchasable heart boost that grants an extra life or invincibility granting banana juice potion. The latter seems the better choice at first, with it granting you a 10-hit armor and a cool yellow sheen visible even in the darkest of levels, but the potion's effects wear off if you fall down a pit. The heart boost stays with you until you whack the slot machine barrel for goodies at the level's end. These power-up items are sure to help you, except for in the minecart and rocket barrel stages. One crash with foe or landmark spells doom no matter what the item used. A right nuisance, as these auto-scrolling vehicular sections are the toughest parts of the game. Human rights don't matter, Rafi. Also, we're monkeys. There are no human rights here.
Yeah, we get animal rights, which are probably...
Get in the barrel, DK! If you don't do it, Diddy will have to do it again!
I've never watched that.
No, me neither.
The minecart rail tracks will test your reflexes in ducking and jumping, as well as your wits with tricks that can divert you away from collectibles. The rocket barrel will test your patience as you struggle to adjust your altitude to avoid the onslaught of enemies, or grazing the bottom of the floor and exploding. The rocket barrels are not instantaneous like the leaps of the minecart, so going up and down requires a bit of planning, which you're given very little time to do. At the end of the jungles, ruins, and caves await bosses, be they hypnotised animals, menacing machines, or whatever this thing is. They are typically defeated in the traditional platforming fashion of dodging their attacks and waiting for their weak spot to be pounced upon. Some require a few rolls to knock down, and others need some bombs tossed at them, but at the end of the day, one thing remains the same. Punching the controlling tikis is oh so satisfying. The music is decent with surprisingly relaxing tunes given the game's action, and occasional triumphant trumpets and bops, but these get drowned out by the louder and more impactful sound effects. You can both see, hear, and feel the weight of DK's landing, with explosion noises and quaking ground pounds invoking strength by its sound choices. Donkey Kong Island is also a pretty place, and this game is keen to demonstrate it. Each level has a couple seconds introduction before the Kongs arrive, and the environments react to the blowing breaths and earth-shattering slams. From deep caves to closed-off temples, many dark places exist to demonstrate the game's lovely lighting, but it's probably the distinct silhouette levels that will capture your interest visually. They are used sparingly, but are memorable levels, and with further neat visual features such as lining up background rocks to solve a puzzle, or having Mr. Game & Watch make a charming cameo appearance.
Ending time.
Waggle time is over, and the two questions left to answer are as follows. What are my overall thoughts on this game, and who do I recommend this game for? Donkey Kong Country Returns is the game that initially inspired this YouTube channel, so you'll be unsurprised to learn that I hold it in high regard. It's a pure platformer that does a perfect job in balancing two schools of thought. A collectionist mindset with all the level secrets and the rewards that come from exploring, as well as a high-speed, skill-applauding rush through diabolically difficult challenges and tense time attack modes. Pulling off cool tricks like a momentum-filled jump at the end of a roll, or chaining so many jumps that you get a balloon is oh so satisfying. It is also an incredible co-op experience, allowing the many fails you face to be met with laughter rather than frustration. Weak points exist, such as the lack of difficulty customization for the one-touch death vehicle sections, and the boss battles are lackluster with exception to the bird, tool-tossing minecart mole, and other bird, but these are minor hindrances to a thrilling experience. If you're an experienced platformer veteran, a fan of the old Donkey Kong Country SNES games, or simply a gamer looking for a challenge, then this game is ideal for you. This high difficulty is a bit of a barrier of entry for younger and less experienced gamers, but the bright visuals and snippets of humour make this an inviting world for such folks, and co-op capabilities help alleviate the difficulty to a degree. Paired up with a more skilled co-op partner, this less skilled player can join in on the fun, whether it be jumping alongside the Kongs or assisting as a piggybacking Diddy with jetpacks and peanuts. And naturally, this game is a must-play for Nintendo fans. Whether you choose to play the wee wonder that is Donkey Kong Country Returns is up to you, but either way, I hope you enjoyed this review, and thank you for watching.
I mean, yeah, we haven't died once yet. And this is probably me not doing anything. Why did we design the minecarts like this? This is a terrible idea!
Yeah, that's gold. Okay. That's fine.
Another time for the Kong letters.
At least we've got two.
For levels like these, let's just clear it and not worry about the Kong stuff. Oh, for a second I thought that was the end of the level.
That would be merciful.
Cog!
Oh my god! Did
Wow!
I seriously
Yeah,
do
what
that
the
first
time?
What the hell? What? Apparently you're holding me back. How many times did we try that last session?
About 10 oh, must be at least been about 10 times.
Yeah, we cleared through a lot of lives before I had a literal breakdown.
Thank you for watching. Cheerio!